What a good-looking gentleman right here. I tell you, we got Sean Patton, our musical guest here on the show on Shaw, episode number 59, and welcome to it. My name is Matt Carter. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, Sean Patton, he's a great singer-songwriter from right here in Nanaimo, and he will be having a feature interview with Andrew Roberts later on this hour. Also on the show, well, have you been to the library in the last little while? If not, you should probably book your ticket. Book your ticket to the library, yes. Because I actually got to check out, they're putting on actually a series of fall programs coming up, and Brian Sugiyama, who is the #1 fan of the Dewey Decimal System, is going to find out more by talking to customer library services librarian, I'll say that 3 times fast, Emily Orr. Great to have him on the show. Also on the serious side of things, Brian's going to take a look at sort of an underreported type of abuse out there, and that's elder abuse. To find out more, Brian will be speaking with Floyd Blades. He's a coordinator at the Nanaimo Family Life Association. Joan Herron is a segment for us on the media. She'll be talking to one of our local experts, one with a great perspective, Alana Williams, who is the chair of the VIU Media Studies department. On the festival side of things, we got some great events to highlight. Lorraine Jensen is going to speak with Kim Smythe, who's the producer of the 2013 Harvest Festival. And I'm going to find out more about the Arte de Carnival, which is part of Culture Days, a pan-Canadian arts and culture festival. Anyways, Arte de Carnival happens in Nanaimo, and Shalima Gant from the Nanaimo African Heritage Society is going to be telling us more, and she's brought some special guests as well. And Brian is also going to be back on the show to model his jeans. And I'm not talking about his pants, I'm talking about his past. Yes, we're going to get an introduction to genealogy and how to research your family history. He'll be speaking, with Arlene Hoffman, a family history and genealogy instructor. But first, we're going to find out about a fantastic conference for the ladies. So ladies, gentlemen, children, gather around. It's time for the show right here on Shaw TV.
My name is Lorraine Jensen, and I am a woman. Therefore, I'm a prime candidate to attend the Release Your Fantastik Inner Chick workshop later on this month. My guest today is Risha Adair, and Risha is the producer of the event. Welcome, Risha.
Thank you, Lorraine. It's great to be here with you.
Thank you. Now, we both know that being a woman, and women typically in this world are so busy, and yet being with other women is beneficial for our health. It's been proven over and over by science.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So tell me about this event.
Well, this is about the women coming together and celebrating being a woman, being empowered, gaining our confidence, our self-esteem. You're going to hear topics of issues of interest to women, including hormonal health, sexual health, ways to better communicate in all relationships, how to get better results in our business success and in our life. We'll find out about getting to that next step so we can say, yes, I can do it. We'll have networking, silent auction. We're fundraising for the Haven Society and the Braveheart Women World Peace Project. Absolute fabulous food. It's going to be an event coming together with the women, and a lot of fun.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. And so where is the event?
The event is held at the Parksville Community and Conference Center, 132 East Jensen Avenue.
And it's on September the 27th and 28th?
Correct.
So that's a Friday evening, is that correct?
The conference that I just described to you is all on Saturday. That's the conference day. We have a pre-conference day on the Friday that actually everyone is welcome to.
So everyone including men?
Men,
okay.
Exactly. We love our men, and children over 14, young adults. We're bringing in Darren Weeks. He's our keynote speaker that night that's going to share with us wealth principles taught by Robert Kiyosaki in the very popular money book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
So who is the speaker? Darren?
Darren Weeks is a millionaire from Edmonton, and wouldn't you agree, Lorraine, that if you're going to learn about money, you might as well learn from a millionaire instead of Uncle Bob?
Yes. Yes,
Absolutely.
I agree.
So we're going to learn all about the wealth principles in the money workshop. Janelle Setter's co-hosting. She's a young woman from Fort McMurray who owns 22 real estate properties.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to find out about that too. And then afterwards, we're going into the cash flow game. It's kind of like an adult Monopoly where you're going to feel, it's that edutainment. You're going to play in a game fashion what you've just learned in the Wealth Principles Workshop. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it will change your paradigm about money forever.
Excellent. I've heard about this game before, and I know that people have played it. And I certainly like the idea of of cementing what I've just learned throughout the evening. I was just reading about that yesterday.
Exactly, because money education starts not only with mom coming home with something, but it's with everybody to take responsibility.
So you're doing a silent auction.
That's correct, raising money for Haven Society and Braveheart Women.
Okay, and I understand that the business community of Parksville and Nanaimo are jumping in to support this event?
Absolutely, we're very grateful and thankful to the businesses. There's so many ways a business can be involved. They can contribute door prizes, they can contribute silent auction prizes. Also we'd like to reach out to the demographic of the young woman in high school and sponsor them, so our businesses can be an angel sponsor at a special philanthropic price to sponsor one of these women or a client from the Haven Society. So there's all kinds of ways that a business can be involved. And of course they can attend the event and sponsor their staff and themselves.
So tell me a little bit more about what you just said about a high school student.
Well, the statistics read, as a matter of fact, it was a high school in Nanaimo here that studied that 96% of young women do not have confidence levels, do not have high self-esteem, and actually don't feel themselves to be beautiful. This is the demographic we'd like to work with to empower. As we heard, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a confident young woman.
It takes a village to raise a confident older woman.
That's right, as well.
And so I personally believe that for women to come out to an event like this, it's hard for us women to decide to do something for ourselves, to spend some money and to get myself ready and to give up a Saturday when I could be in service to my family. And yet the value and what I get out of it is so much greater. I go home a happier person.
Yeah, absolutely you do. And you're going to come home with new friends.
Yeah.
If you're in business, there might be great connections for you as well. And you're going to be able to serve your family and community that much better because you'll be re-energized.
Now, apparently, from what I hear, and this I'm really excited about because I have new shoes, there's a dance at the end.
Gotta love those new shoes.
Oh.
I hope they're comfortable in dancing shoes. We're really excited. Lazy Mike and the Rockin' Recliners, the hardest working, best blues band on Vancouver Island, in my opinion, of course, are playing at our tropical dinner dance party on Saturday night. It's open to our conference delegates. It's open to the public. Of course, men, everybody is welcome. It is an adult event and tropical Caribbean dinner.
Fantastic. Well, I know that I'll be there, and I'm very excited for this event, so thank you very much. And for anybody that wants more information, they can go to www.fantastikchicks.com.
FantastikInnerChick.com.
FantastikInnerChick.com. Thank you very much, Risha. And now I'd like to turn it over to Brian.
Thanks, Lorraine. I've got with me here someone from the Vancouver Island Regional Library, and I think that's a lot bigger than what people might realize. The library takes in 32 different communities on the island and all the way up to, I think it's Bella Coola and Haida Gwaii. So there is a fall program guide. I have with me here Emily Orr, who is a customer services librarian at the Harbourfront Library. And can you tell me, Emily, what kind of things we can look forward to this fall at Harbourfront?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. We have lots going on this fall. And what some people might not realize is that the library is not just about books anymore. So, of course, we still offer the traditional story times for babies and toddlers and preschoolers, which you can come by to 3 days a week. But also we have things for teens and adults that are outside the bounds of what you might consider a library does. So, for instance, we're offering a teen board games night on Friday the 13th, and the library will provide board games for teenagers, or they can bring their own. We also offer an all-ages board game afternoon on Saturdays. And also for teens, we are starting a book club in conjunction with the city of Nanaimo, which of course is about books, but we're excited to offer that. They'll be reading The Diary of a Part-Time Indian. So teens can register online with the city.
That's a specific youth book, then?
That's right. This is a young adult book by Sherman Alexie.
That's one of your new acquisitions?
It's a year or two old now, but it's gotten a lot of rave reviews. I've read it myself, and it's a really good one.
Okay.
So Also, as far as programming goes, for adults, we have our regular technology help drop-ins. So if you have questions about ebooks or tablets or computers or just lost about where to begin, you can just come on by and a librarian will walk you through your problem. And that's held on Tuesday and Thursday evenings.
So as well as the traditional books on shelves, you have ebooks and you have certain items that are available only as ebooks then.
That's correct. We have a database full of ebooks that you can download from our website, and we also have audiobooks, and we have access to electronic resources in databases all through our website.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So let's look at a couple of the other books that you've got coming as well.
Okay, so this one that I have here is called The Fruit Hunters, and this is actually the book version of a movie that we'll be showing. We have been holding movie nights on Fridays for the last few months, and we'll be continuing that through the fall. So this one is a documentary that was offered through the National Film Board, and it's about, well, fruit around the world, and Bill Pullman is in the movie version of the documentary.
Wonderful. Let's look at, before we run out of time, some of the other books you have here. Obviously, The Craft Beer Revolution is a reference book for adults.
Yes, it is indeed. This is one that would be great to take on the road if you're going on a road trip around the province.
Okay.
It's all about craft breweries in BC, and it does include our local breweries on the island, including Longwood and Wolf. So if you're at all into beer, that's a good place to start.
And the last two books here?
The last two, Eleanor and Park, here is designated as a young adult book, but I think adults would enjoy it as well. Just be prepared with some tissues because it is a sad one. It's a very sweet story of a romance between two outcast teenagers.
Okay, and Cheetah Can't Lose must be a children's book from the cover.
It is. The author is Bob Shea, and he's quite popular for his Dinosaur Versus series. And this one is about a cheetah who just can't stand to lose and some troublemaking kittens. So I don't want to ruin the end, but.
I know you handle the adult programs. Can you tell us a little bit about a couple other programs? I guess we're going to talk a little later in the show about the genealogy, beginning genealogy program.
Yes, so we're pretty excited to be offering a genealogy research program that is over 2 sessions on the 22nd and the 29th. Those are Sundays, so people can come in and learn about resources and ways to learn about their family history.
Good, good. All right, so people to get more detail, and I see with the listing it goes everywhere from just north of Victoria all the way up to Haida Gwaii, and the program is quite large, so we can't certainly cover everything. You can go onto the website, and I think that's here.
That's it.
And it's also on screen, and you can search out any of the items that we have here as well as the programs?
That's right. You can access our catalog, and you can look for the most up-to-date events that are happening at the library.
Well, that's great. That's been a wonderful chance to get an orientation of what goes on in the library. And if you haven't done that, certainly check into the website, go on, search out the items you want to look up. And if you have any questions, certainly you can pop in at Harbourfront and talk to Emily, or here who has got all the information on adult programs and her colleagues on all the other age group programs. Let's head it over to Joan, who's dealing with the media.
Thanks very much, Brian and Emily. That was interesting to hear about. I'm here with Alana Williams, who is actually the chair of the VIU Digital Media Studies program. And I'm having a hard time getting it all out, but you're the chair of the Media Studies program at VIU is the official way that we want to put that. And tell me about the degree that you're offering there.
Okay, well, we recently launched a 4-year degree in Digital Media Studies, and this program is unique in Canada at the undergraduate level, where it really blends the production skills, creating digital media, with the theory, the understanding of communication and how to create effective digital media messages.
And I've heard that your program is actually attracting students from all over the country, or maybe all over the world, because we do have international students as well.
That's right. We have students coming from all over the world and from other parts of Canada, specifically to Nanaimo to take our program, which is really exciting.
Which is really exciting, and it's great. I mean, you've been in the field for 20 years yourself, so you've seen a lot of changes. And we talked a little bit about that before the show, just about the different changes. We're both in media, so of course it's of interest. We're both women. And you were saying that it's pretty much equal between women and men, and I thought it was an interesting observation because it's a communication-based art form in a certain way. It attracts a lot of women.
I think that's part of it. There is that connection piece, the human aspect. It's not just dealing with computers, but it's about communication and making connections. And so that seems to appeal to women as well as men.
And you were saying, we're also talking about how things have changed and how it's become a little bit more egalitarian or accessible in terms of the internet and being able to have your voice heard. And so it's not quite like it was in the old days with radio and television, where it was an exclusive club. Now we have the ability to actually access our audiences and use the resources a little bit more efficiently. And I'm just going to reflect back your quote, which is anytime you have traditional media outlets, you have gatekeepers, which is an interesting idea, the gatekeepers being the big media outlets and that sort of thing. So now we have an opportunity for accessibility.
That's right. So that you don't have to do what the boss wants you to do. If you have a message that you want to get out to people, the internet makes it possible for anyone with a computer and a little bit of knowledge to put the message out. And that gives Canadians different perspectives. I think that's an important I think we need that in media in Canada today.
Well, plus it's not just local, it's actually global. And it used to be that we could just get the message out locally, and now we have we have the whole world at our disposal as far as getting, that's why things go viral, I guess, and why Facebook is so popular. We also talked a little bit about open source, because that's something we share an interest in. Tell us a little bit about open source.
Well, open source is a new business model. It's an idea that one person doesn't own something, but rather it's shared in a community, and everyone contributes and benefits from it.
So it's a metaphor. Back. I'm sorry. I was going to actually say that right at the outset, and I want you to talk about that being a metaphor of and how it sort of feeds our culture, and also how we feed it back. Well,
I think that's what we're starting to see in society, is a changing idea around ownership and how we create knowledge and how we share knowledge. And so people aren't thinking about it so much as, I have this and I'm going to hold on to it and profit from it, but rather I'm going to share it for the good of society.
Right.
So we're seeing that in all kinds of ways in education. So we use open source a lot in our program. We encourage students to use open source software and to contribute and feed back into that community of knowledge.
I was going to say, it's nice because it really is a reciprocal thing. A lot of people don't realize that there are these programs out there that people are volunteering to put together, and they are at a high level of skill. So those are some ideas that we're just kind of putting out there today, because your program actually covers so much more, and we're just sort of typically the iceberg today. But is there anything else that you wanted to tell people about the media program?
Well, I think that what we're really emphasizing is critical thinking, and that's another way in which society is changing, is that employers want people who can think on their feet and be adaptable. And so I think students get that in our program.
Right, and you were saying it's agile, it's changing with the times, as opposed to the old model, which is we do the same thing every year. And that's an interesting way of looking at it as well. Our time's gone, and if people want to have more information, they can actually go to the website that's at the, or actually, I think there's an email address. I don't think you have a website. You can go to the VIU website, but you can get a hold of Alana yourself by contacting her via email. And so I'm really thankful that you came on today. I know it's a really busy week for you, so thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me, Joan.
And now we're going to go over to Sean, who is going to talk about being sun-drenched, which we have been all summer, and he just wants the summer to keep on going. Thanks, Sean.
to arms outstretched due to that latch too soon. And oh, how sweet you are, the city's a living wildflower, bent over to the sun, not a callous on her heels. This is for all of mine, this is for all of my senses that I just don't know yet. This is for all of mine, this is for all of my senses that I just don't know yet. Oh, and how we think a day's long gone and wonder what they meant. Only hope that we can leave our feelings of resentment. 'Cause how we have forgotten a certain way we used to feel, bent over to the sun, not a callous on our heels. And expectations are not always met. Yeah. It's your choice on how you react. I'll take my time, I'll search the inside for all it's worth. And expectations are not always met. Yeah. It's your choice on how you react. I'll take my time, I'll search the inside for all it's worth. This is for all of mine, this is for all of my senses that I just don't know yet. This is for all of mine, this is for all of my senses that I just don't know yet. This is for all of mine, this is for all of my senses that I just don't know yet.
Good afternoon. With me today I have Floyd Blades, who is a coordinator with Nanaimo Family Life. And Floyd, can you tell us a little bit about this issue that we see a little bit in the media about, and it's called elder abuse, and it's something that probably people aren't aware of enough.
Well, that's one of the things that I'm encountering in the process of doing this program and delivering the stuff that I'm doing in the community. There are many people who don't necessarily recognize elder abuse as elder abuse for a number of reasons. They're familiar with the situation, there are self-esteem issues in play, it's what they're used to, it's how they were raised, and this really, really complicates the process, which is part of my job in terms of getting the information out there.
And I've seen some of the commercials about that, and
Yeah.
it talks about not only just control of finances, control of decision making, etc.
It can be really, really comprehensive. There's sexual abuse, there's physical, there's financial, there's violation and infringement on people's individual civil rights, and it can be a really, really complicated situation, which is one of the reasons why we've come into the surface in this.
And you're involved in a program, and it's called Emerging
elders.
What does that do?
Well, the purpose of the Emerging Elders program is to increase the public awareness. What we do is we do presentations and workshops on the issue. We talk about what it looks like, how we can recognize it, and how we can effectively deal with it in our community, because it happens with disturbing frequency. The stats say that between 4 and 10% of all people over 65 will experience some form of elder abuse in their lives. When we calculate those numbers into Nanaimo, that's between 2 and 8,000 instances of elder abuse a year, which is a disturbing number when we bring it actually into the face of our community. That's a lot of our people who are being improperly treated and cared for poorly that we really need to address, I believe.
And with our significant numbers of the aged in this community and in the whole Mid-Island,
actually Nanaimo has the 10th largest senior community in Canada.
Really?
Really.
Okay. So it is an issue that certainly faces this community.
Yes.
What are you looking at for trying to support this through your Emerging Elders? What are you doing right now?
Well, what I'm doing right now is I'm acquiring volunteers. We're trying to recruit people 65 and older to come and join us, because we believe that the presentations are much more effective coming from the individuals who are most likely to experience these things. So we're doing presentations in the community, workshops to various organizations, and as the year moves on, those volunteers will actually be going out and doing the presentations and the workshops that I've been doing currently. And that's what we're looking for. We want it in the community. We want to increase awareness of this so that people can better protect themselves and we can better protect the people we love.
Okay, so these aren't just at your Family Life facility.
No, we will be
town
taking
site?
these out into the community. I've been approaching various organizations around town. I contacted you guys, and so I'm just doing a lot of outreach and making connections and getting a really, really amazingly positive response.
So people can offer their services, their help, as well as get more information about the program by contacting, I think we've listed the Nanaimo Family Life website, and that's where they'll get all the details and how to contact you as well.
Contact me and other information on the programs that we offer at Nanaimo Family Life.
And again, Floyd Blades, the Emerging Elders Program.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Floyd, for coming in. That's been great information.
It's been a wonderful time. Thank you.
You're watching the show here on Shaw TV. Thank you so much. All right, again, Shane Phillip with guests. He's a great singer-songwriter, one-man band, but not with the usual instruments. He mixes guitar, percussion, and the didgeridoo. Like an amazing, amazing musician, incredible dancing, really a West Coast treasure. So that's Shane Phillip and guests. Saturday, September 14th at the Queen's on a great show put on by Got Pop Productions. The second thing I'm going to talk out is a shout out to Culture Days. And this is a 3-day pan-Canadian event, basically thousands of different events put on volunteers that sort of celebrate arts and culture in the respective communities. And again, it's put on by volunteers, and folks are really encouraged not only check out these events, but get involved. Find out what artists and culture producers really do to get their stuff on the go. And there's a number of things happening in Nanaimo as well, including this microphone cable getting hooked on Sean's chair over there. But some of the things include a street art exhibition, improv theater with Theater One, a Hammond Bay studio tour, an upcycled art exhibit, as well as the 3rd annual Arte de Carnival. And that is a perfect tie-in right now to lead us to our next guest here on the show, Salim again. Thanks so much for being on the show again. Absolutely, you've had you a number of times, and great to have you here again.
Yeah.
So before we get into the event itself, just to sort of link back to Culture Days, why do you think it's important for folks to celebrate arts and culture in their communities?
Well, number one, Nanaimo has been appointed as the cultural capital of BC. So we have a lot of talent in this region, and we have a lot of talent in our community. And I think we have just such a variety of culture events, and so I think Culture Days is one of those collaborations that we should embrace. The Nanaimo African Heritage Society has been celebrating it for the last 3 years, and it's nice to see that other people are getting involved this year. We sort of umbrellaed it 3 years ago, and so I just think the whole idea of having cultures get together, celebrating performing art as well as visual arts.
Yeah, so tell us a little about, again, about the Arte de Carnival, the history. Why did it get started? Who was involved? And just tell us about those first couple of events.
Arte de Carnival was one of the themes that we chose for Cultural Days. We first started it out with Picnic in the Park. We went to Arte de Carnival because it involves dressing up. We love the Venetian style, wearing the mask, dressing, playing a role. Some of my friends went to Venice and they were part of the Venetian Carnival that was there.
Very cool.
So they brought those ideas back, and it was just exciting. It really stimulated me in terms of wanting to do that. And so we just provided a venue at the Dino Crawl Plaza. We did last year. There was a big turnout and very successful. So we thought we'll try that again this year.
Perfect, exactly.
Yeah.
And I know, and we'll get again to some of the things going on actually at the event, but one of the ways you want to sort of show off, you've been telling me the style of Venice is with the outfits.
Yes.
I know you've brought along some guests here into the studio.
I brought some
models.
beautiful models with me.
So yeah, introduce us to the models we have here today.
The first model that we have is Amy, and Amy has been modeling with me for the last couple of months, and she is modeling some beautiful dresses that we have from Blaze Bridal Store. And this is these are iridescent dresses, and this is Ariel. I'm sorry, Ariel, just go blank for a little while. Beautiful, the dresses are stunning. They're from Blaze Bridal Store, and Blaze Bridal Store will be one of the retailers that will be showing off some of the fashions at Arte de Carnival. It's all about dressing up, it's all about being glamorous. For those people who want to wear mask costumes, last year we featured a lot of the 18th century clothing. So this year we're saying it all goes. Bring your mask, bring out your fun, dress up, come out and have fun. There's part of our event is a big fashion show that we'll be doing as the girls are modeling, and we just had a wonderful audition that we had at the conference center on the 29th, and that was a good turnout, and it was for models to strut their stuff here in the fashion segment of Arte de Carnival. So there's lots of other entertainment going on, face painting, costume, vendors, arts. And this year we're trying to introduce something new. We wanted to go into the evening. Saturday nights we need to fill up to downtown. So we're having a bistro fashion show, food and
that's right, yeah. So it basically starts at 11 in the morning.
11 in the morning, goes until 8, 9 at night.
9 at night. So again, so folks are encouraged to, again, dress up.
Dress up, bring your best costume, come out Venetian style. Check out our website. We will have some information on making masks. There'll be a mask workshop. And we have other little venues that we're going on. On the 21st, we are introducing a comedian that's coming to the Vault. And she is very funny lady that's coming to the Vault, and so check that out on the 21st. It's and then we will go into Arte de Carnival on the 28th of September.
All right, so two quick things then to finish off our conversation. First off, if folks want to get to know more about the modeling, how can they contact you about that?
Well, please call me at call us at Nanaimo African Heritage Society at 729-9332, or they could email us at nanaimoafricanheritagesociety@gmail.com. We're also always needing lots of people for these festivals, musicians, face painters, volunteers.
I was going to say, yes, my last question was, yes, are you still looking for any volunteers or helpers for
Always. We never have enough. So if people have their volunteer, want to come out and be a part of it, please do.
Perfect.
Give us a call.
Well, thank you so much for coming down to the show. Thanks for bringing the models down as well. Much appreciated. Again, Arte de Carnival happening Saturday, September the 28th at Dino Crawl Plaza, happening all day long. Look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Okay. All right, so now we're going to move over to meet our musician now on our musician interview. So send it over to Sean Patton and Mr. Andrew Roberts. Over to you.
Well, thanks, Matt. And I got to say, what's going on with you lately? Like, we used to hang out all the time, and ever since the Video Music Awards, your mom tells me that you're locked up in your room just practicing something called twerking. Like, I don't get it. So, you know, let's go play kickball someday. Come on, come on. Moving along. I'm here with Sean Patton. How's it going, Sean?
Pretty well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So you're locally born and raised in Nanaimo, BC?
Yep. Born and raised Nanaimo.
How long have you been playing the guitar?
I started guitar in 7th grade for school, and then just picked it up in high school.
You were assigned the guitar, or did
Assigned,
you?
yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't pick the guitar. They gave it to you and said, "Here, play."
Essentially, it was for class. Everybody had to do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing guitar today, probably.
What would have been your second choice?
I played the piano originally, quite a lot.
Right on, right on. So you've got a CD that you're working on?
I'm working on an EP.
An EP.
With Ed Lee at Broken Spiral Studios. Hopefully it'll be done around the end of October. At least that's our projected date. But as to like if and when it will get pressed, that's still yet to be seen.
5 songs, 6 songs?
5 songs.
How long does it take to put a song together for you?
For me, totally depends. I mean, my writing process is kind of all over the map. I'll have ideas and they'll stay with me for essentially like well over a year, but not turn into a song. Whereas other times, I kind of have all the music done in less than a week or so, even less than that.
Do you do the lyrics first, or do you write the music first?
Definitely the music. Lyrics and singing I find to be the hardest part. I'm a lot more self-conscious about my lyricism, because I mean the music's just the music. It speaks for itself. When you have to put words to something, I want it to have some kind of meaning, so I take it quite seriously, and I tend to probably overanalyze it.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. You're on Facebook, facebook.com/Sean Patton Music. You posted on there that you were asking people what their favorite albums were. Did you get any good responses, and do you have some favorites too?
Yeah, I got a couple good responses. One of a coworkers of mine actually said that his favorite album is Loveless by My Bloody Valentine, which is an old shoegaze album from the early 90s, which is definitely regarded as like an extremely good album. Other people said like Kanye West's new album and things like that. A band named Yakuzi, which is a avant-garde metal band, I haven't listened to them, but that's about all I know about them. I really like John Coltrane's Love Supreme. There's a metal band called KO Dot that have an album called Choirs of the Eye that I really like. Those are a couple of my favorites.
Nice. Now you were talking earlier before the show, and you were telling me something about in high school you skipped class to play some other type of music?
Yeah. I have a friend named Anton, and we did hip-hop all throughout high school, and we still do, just for fun. It's what's kept our friendship together, probably for such a long time. It's really cool.
Right on. And you've got some shows coming up.
Yeah. Got one at the Dinghy Dock in October 9th, which coincidentally you're putting on.
Hey.
So,
well then.
I don't know how that's working out, but
cool. No, it's it's Wednesday, October 9th.
Yeah.
And who are you playing with?
Oh, it's on the paper. Jerry Barnum and Love Coast.
Right on.
Which
right
I'm
on.
excited to hear them.
Yeah, it'll be a good show for sure. So you're gonna play one of your songs coming up right now?
Yes.
What's it called?
Monteverde.
Excellent. Take it away.
Thank you. You wake up in a maelstrom, spiraling downwards into the water. Pale green light with no sound, just bubbles escaping from your mouth. You
with every step, but keep treading lightly, keep up ahead. Cracks and creaks from all the weight that's bound by the memories that just won't fade. And you are on the ocean's back, and all but gone. Why'd I have to go in this direction, faster than the blink of an eye, stuck in the fourth dimension, just waiting for a sign. Why'd I have to go in this direction, faster than the blink of an eye, stuck in the fourth dimension, just waiting for a sign.
The Vancouver Regional Library is going to have, and it's going to start September 22nd, go through till October 6th. And I have with me the instructor, Arlene Hoffman. Arlene, you've done some programs before. This is your first one with the library. Beginning genealogy, what's that all about?
Genealogy is about researching your own family history. Some people call it family tree, which is kind of a real basic. You've seen it in your history books, you know, the Queen Elizabeth and her family. Then the next term was genealogy, and now more people are using family history. They feel it's more encompassing in what people are actually doing.
And you were just telling me earlier, people think they can look up on the internet to get that, but there's not all the information there.
No, part of it is privacy. They won't release, for instance, a birth certificate on internet unless it's for somebody that was born over 100 years ago. Others, it takes time, it takes money.
So with your class, you're going to go over where the various sources are.
Right.
Some of the most basic, census data and the library?
There are some resources at the library. There's some resources in other places in town. I've spent a lot of time at the Vancouver Downtown Library, was one part that I was looking for, because they have directories for Vancouver going back to the 1800s.
So, and this is something, and I've been interested in, and I know a lot of people who have elderly parents that are wanting to know their own family's background, the history, where people came from, how they settled here in this area or in Canada in particular.
Right.
Have you and the Family History Society found a lot of requests in this area, the Mid-Island area?
I'm not quite sure what
Well, have there been a lot of people come forward to you?
Oh, people do. There's a program at the Elder College in Parksville that I understand is jammed every year. There's another one at the Elder College here, I think she's in October. And then, of course, I do the Downtown Library. I've been doing that for, 3 years now. And before that, I did Bowen Seniors for about 3 years.
So there's been a lot of people who want to get that down. So we're going to get back to a little more information on that and the more details about that. But let's head over to Lorraine, who's going to check on the Harvest Festival.
My guest is Kim Smythe, and Kim Smythe is the producer of the Harvest Festival coming up on September the 14th here in downtown Nanaimo. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you, Lorraine.
So this is the third event coming up?
This is the third annual, that's correct.
And so tell me about it.
Well, it's a celebration of the local food movement, as you can see on the poster. And basically, the subject areas that we're talking about are urban agriculture, permaculture, organic farming, sustainable living, and all of those things that relate to it, whether that's recycling, use of water, use of our use of our resources, and we have several components to the event.
So if I come down there, I'm going to learn all about these things?
Yeah, we've got about 20 booths that are set up to provide information in an educational fashion, in an interactive manner, that are going to talk about all those sorts of things. We've got Nanaimo's new regional food strategy that's going to be there presenting. We have the regional district's Water Smart program, BC Hydro with Power Smart. The list goes on and on.
So let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
There's going to be lots of food there, apparently, from local vendors.
Lots of food. We have a large farmers market component. We have roughly 20 vendors. Everything from fresh green produce that's being harvested right now, up to honey, and we even have somebody who's doing a natural bird feed booth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So there's going to be food.
Yes.
There's going to be education.
Yes.
There's going to be entertainment.
Exactly.
Tell me about that.
We've got a stage that goes nonstop from 10:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yep.
We have 5 different acts booked onto that stage. One will follow the other. During break time, we have Balkan Gypsy harvest dancers entertaining. So
Do you know
there's
what that
not
is?
a break. I have no idea what that is.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll find out first.
Yes, you will.
So we have that going on stage all day, and then the music is in the style of a harvest theme or barn dance kind of feeling. So lots of fiddles and banjos and guitars and Celtic feel to it.
That sounds like lots of fun. Now tell me quickly how I can register to vote in the tapas part.
Okay.
I need to bring something, right?
Yes, the Fresh Food Fair is a special event. We had a big hit with that in our first year, and we've continued it on. And you can vote for your favorite chef after you've gone through the food fair, spend a couple of dollars at each booth for a tapas-sized portion of food. And then if you've brought your non-perishable food item for the Loaves and Fishes Food Bank, you get to vote for your top chef.
Well, I am looking forward to it. I plan to be there that day. So thank you for being here. And we get to go to, there's a Facebook page that's on the screen right now that will tell us all about the event.
I sure hope it does.
It will.
It's Wesley Street, and it's going to be a grand affair.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Lorraine.
And now, apparently, I am related to David Beckham, and I'm going to be talking to Arlene after to find out how I can find out if that's true. Back to you, Brian.
Thanks, Lorraine. I'm back here with Arlene Hoffman, and we're going to talk a little bit, Arlene, about the process. We've got your outline for the program that you're doing at Vancouver Island Regional Library. What people sort of don't know where to even begin. So
that's right, and I always say start with you and work back. You sit down, I give them a copy of what they call a family group sheet and tell them, here's mom or dad's information, here's mom, here's your brothers and sisters. You do a similar one for grandma and grandpa, and you work your way back through time that way. And you still have to be very careful and find when, because you could get the wrong John Jones.
that's right. And obviously there is some records in Canada, but sometimes you're going to have to go back out of country, the United Kingdom, and some other sources.
I've done mostly Canada, the United Kingdom, and Norway.
Okay. And you go right back, you mentioned, not only on the paternal side, the maternal side, you can ask relatives for help, and the key is to talk to those relatives while they're still here. And
Right, because unfortunately, when my daughter volunteered me 20 years ago, my grandparents were already deceased. So a lot of it, and my aunts didn't know, except Grandma and Grandpa were born in Norway. So I had to work my way back through what I could find on the internet, and Norway has a wonderful site, thank goodness. So I find genealogy exciting, frustrating. I jump up and down when I find somebody that I haven't found for a while, and I've been looking. It's being a detective, but it's being a detective about your own family.
And that's the exciting part, is to find out where everything originated, how people got to this area.
Right, what they did, what was going on at that time period.
Well, I think there's a lot of material. I guess it's a never-ending process. And
it can be. There's people that have been doing it for 30 years. As I say, I've been doing it for 20, and I still haven't stopped.
Yeah. Well, again, yours is just the beginning genealogy class at the library, but there's also more information. People can contact you by email. We have that up on the screen. Arlene Hoffman with the Family History Society.
Right.
So there's a lot of information. If you have any questions, contact Arlene, contact the library about the class, and
don't forget Nanaimo Family History.
Okay.
They've got their own library.
Good. Okay.
Check, check. Mike's working. Thanks, Scotty. So Arlene, so I know that the Carters came over from Ireland in the mid-1800s, 17 of them. So where would I go knowing that information to keep searching for stuff? Can I find stuff in the Nanaimo branch?
If you want to try yourself, I was going to say something different. If you're going to trot out to Nanaimo Family History, they have, can I mention the name of the software?
Sure.
Find My Past is UK. And recently, Find My Past has put Irish history on there.
Oh, nice.
And unfortunately, 1901 census forward is there, but they had a fire and the older census is gone. So they're picking up information from tombstones and other volunteers who are going through church records to post it.
Yeah. That's another great reason why you should get on this now, to figure this stuff out. Yeah, because you
Right.
never know what happened to these old records. So
Yeah.
well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you very much, Brian, for bringing this segment on as well. So
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. I mean, I must admit, it is very fun to trace family histories, and I do hope my kin dread the days when it was difficult to do. And, I'm sure my dogs and cats and other pet agree. And things might be, weird if you happen to have, one mother and four fathers. But, that would be kind of making a mountain out of an anthill. All right, so let's hope our government does grandfather in some new regulations to find our, making our family history a bit easier. Cousin Time, you'll need that info. Cousin Time, you'll need that info. All right, well, I guess it's time for me to finally cry uncle before I get attacked and there's some bloodlines all over the floor. So it's time to bring this edition of the show on Shaw to a close. So I do thank all of our guests, all of our staff, and all our volunteers in front of the cameras and behind the scenes. We also can find Shaw TV on Facebook. Check us out there for more information. That's facebook.com/The Show on Shaw. You also find previous episodes of the show on our Twitter page as well. So yeah, check that out again. See what's going on in the past. Now it's time to finish off the show, and of course we have to do some music, but this time we actually have two more songs to finish off. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Raymond. You're only 21 once. Happy birthday to you. Beautiful, beautiful. Happy birthday, Raymond. One of our great volunteers here at Shaw TV. Great to give him a shout out. And now again, as per usual, one more song from our musical guest this time, Sean Patton. Again, the excellent looking gentleman right beside me. The song we'll play for you is called In August. In August during your month, we thank you so much for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
No, this is not how you thought it would be. And your pain is so wishing you could see. Some kind of light, a rush of blood through the hollow. Vessels that the trouble seems straight from the bottom. Well, we're not the first, not the last. She said